crucial 24 hours for crypto. If we do not bounce here, I don't think we are bouncing at all, and Bitcoin is going much lower. So we do see the market being red. Yesterday on the show here, titled Max Fear, Bitcoin is going lower. I explained how I believe we have to come down to the 50%, and once we are down at the 50% level, down here about 66,000, we could potentially see a reversal. This show was yesterday, and this is where Bitcoin almost is at, $66,900. I do believe that today or in the following 2-3 days, we must see this level hold. If this doesn't hold, I do think that we can see Bitcoin go much lower. But if it does hold, I do think that a relief rally, as I have shown you here, can commence. This is exactly what I'm going to talk about today. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗬𝗲. I come here since 2026. I've been in this space. I do these 5 to 10 minute short updates so you can get the alpha you need every single day with basically 3 to 5 minutes off your time. I've been trading for basically forever. If that sounds good, subscribe to the channel, smash the bell notifications, and also join in on the community because I can update you whenever something happens. So I want to, transparency is most important for me always. I'm just a guy coming here telling you what I do with my own money. So yesterday I was actually in this short, right? And I told you yesterday that I'm in this short. Bitcoin is down since I have taken the short position, down about 5%. And yesterday I was laying in bed and I'm like, holy cow, this V-shaped recovery is not looking good, bruv. So I looked at this 5-minute V-shaped recovery and I said, look, I think it might be worth de-risking. So when we started coming down here, I actually closed in a tiny bit of a profit, and I told you in the community that I think it's worth taking a long position. There was a lot of the hearing happened yesterday, and the market structure bill is obviously just hanging around here. So I said that ultimately we are going lower. That can be a short-term push as explained on the show. I have fully closed my short position, and if you want, you can open a risky long. I took it Bitcoin and 67,900 is the stop loss, which was down here. So I got stopped on this little thing. Very important. Guys, it's one stop, but it's just super cool to not actually be revenge trading and go crazy. Oh my God, I was in this trade and now I fucked up, all that shit. So fuck that. I just wanted to tell you it happened. This V-shape actually got to me because it was close below here, very immediate reversal. So I actually, this could have just started rolling here for the 50% on a daily, which I said is still in the cards. So anyway, TLDR, I am flat right now. I don't have a position open. If I did not close this, I would have kept, I would be keeping it. And I'm going to tell you why. So here's what's happening. Bitcoin is coming down to the 50%. Let me just look at actually the total market cap, see where that is going. So the total market cap has to come down to the 50% as well, which is about, I still have the drawing here, which is about 1.4% away from the actual level that I think we need to see hit. Now, if that happens, the reason why I could see this reversing here short term is multiple reasons. One, there is a V-shaped recovery on the 5-minute chart here. We talked about this. We got in long when this happened on the show. This is why it's important that you subscribe, you turn the bell notifications on, and join in on the Telegram. Do it now. Link in the description. Do it. Don't miss out. It's 5 minutes a day. So when we were down here, I said V-shaped recovery, we're long in, took the long positions. We got to these levels, that's when I started scaling out. And when I saw the accumulation, manipulation, distribution, I started taking the short position. But I've always said that this V-shaped recovery will resort in a 50% retrace. So we've been waiting for it here, it didn't happen. Then waited for it here, didn't happen. Then now waiting for it here, most likely seems like it is going to happen. But you have to see this as being the elevator and this as being the staircase. So even though on a higher time frame, on a 4-hour time frame, this does look like a nothing burger, on a lower time frame where you have to monitor this, it is an elevator up and the stairs down. And you always want to be on the elevator. So what I'm saying now, and this is why this video is urgent, is because if and when Bitcoin comes down to the 65.3-ish region, the 66 to 65.3, anywhere between here, by the way, we can go down all the way to 60. When this happens, we must pay attention. And when there is a 15-minute market structure shift, this is the long position, and then we can ride it all the way to the daily 50%, which if you look up here, if you look at the daily or a higher time frame chart, let me look at the daily chart. This daily level is up here at $75,000. So this rally can be another 20% rally where we go and retest this 76,000-ish region. So this would be the level that I would take the ultimate short position above here between 90 and 75. This is the region to take the short position somewhere here and then go lower. So ultimately, I want to take that that, and considering the fact that the market actually is screaming at me and telling me that this retrace is going to happen to the 50% and there will be a market structure shift below the 66,000 level, I do think that this is something that I must pay attention and play when and if it comes. Now, what would I do with the short position if I still had it open? I would just wait for a market structure shift. This thing can also bleed through because this is just a 15-minute market structure shift. It's a V-shaped recovery from a very strong demand zone. Also consider the fact that I said that we had a massive close above on the total market cap on the weekly level. So I said we should close above there. We did close above there. So I do think that this can be nothing else but a retrace here and then a continuation higher all the way up to the 2.66 trillion. So that said, I do believe that we can see this pump play out. But again, very important, if there is no market structure shift here, it's not worth a long position and I'm just simply going to wait for the perfect setup. It's not about having to trade all the time. It's about making money, and you have to wait sometimes for trades. And this is one of these things where I think you need to wait. So again, TLDR, I do believe we're gonna come down to this sub 66,000 region. Once we do that, I'm looking for a market structure shift on the 5 and a 15-minute chart. Once we have that, I am looking for a push, and this push, this is where I would close my short position and open a long position. And I'm looking for a push to the 75,000 region. I'm looking for a push all the way up here to the 75,000 region, which could be a massive 15-20% pump. So yeah, that's the TLDR, that's the plan. However, if Bitcoin does not hold this level, I do think that we're bleeding down lower, and if that happens, I mean, the bottom is 50. Like, there is nothing that stops here from going to 50,000. Yeah, so this is what I'm basically looking at. A couple of things I wanted to tell you. One, the bots. So some of you has asked me about these bots. I have these bull market bots, and it might look horrible, and you say, oh, Fefe, oh my God, looks horrible. Well, let me tell you something. I don't give up. I don't care, because these are long-term bots. Long-term bots. As you see the great bot here on Lit, for example, up $1,400, even though the total is down 5,600. Why? Because it's long-term. I have set these bots to accumulate. For example, the Bitcoin bot is accumulating in this region. It's accumulating here. I don't care about what happens short-term. This is a great opportunity, in my opinion, to get into the bots. Can it go lower? Sure. Will it? I have no idea. But it does make sense that you accumulate here. Wealth is not made when the market is pumping. That's not when it's made. Last time in 2026, when you buy down here, for example, 2023, this is where wealth is made. And this accumulation in the bots will get the gains of this, and you don't have to time the market. So again, there is a link in the description to the bots. I do think you should look into it. It's copy and paste, or you can just click on the link tree. You can get here, and by signing up, you get a $1,000 sign up bonus, and simply you can just click on any of these bots and copy them. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. You can see I'm down here. I'm waiting for a confirmation to add more to these bots, but I am going to, and I do believe that this is an amazing accumulation technique that you should not miss out on, especially with the $1,000 sign up bonus. Guys, that said, I do have my Bitfunded account. I told you that I have passed the Bitfunded challenge, which is amazing. I'm in trader stage. You can see it up here. This is basically a prop firm, but you know about this. And if you don't, there's a link in the description. But I do have my account, which I'm very proud of, and I'm going to be trading. So we're going to do a seminar as well and much more. So yeah, keep this in check as well. Guys, truly appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe, come back for another one, join in the Telegram, and check this out. Is how to get a $1,000 sign-up bonus. I think it's a no-brainer. Get the sign-up bonus, get into the market. It's basically a no-brainer. I'll see you tomorrow in the next one and in the Telegram, because I do believe 50% is coming today. Sooner than later. Ciao.